Hi guys, it's Rachel here from Rachthestamper.wordpress.com. I'm so excited I can finally show you the inside of the holiday catalog. Yay! It went live September 1st. If you don't have a copy and you need one, if you would shoot me your name and address by email at rachthestamper@gmail.com, I will send you one for free. So today we're going to make a Halloween card and we're going to be using a couple different things. I used the Ghoulish Grunge, I used the Spooky Fun stamp set, and it also has matching edgelets. And then I used the Halloween specialty designer series paper here. So this one I just actually used Smoky Slate and I stamped it with the Ghoulish Grunge. I stamped it with this brick image. And then I used a couple of things on this as well. And we're going to make a different version, but I'm going to explain the one that I made. So this I made with a spinner card, and this is with the sliding star framelits. So there's a circle, and there's also this one that you can go sideways, up and down, whichever way. And I also used, so I did a little moon, and I used some of the baker's twine on the inside and stamped the Happy Halloween. But the other thing is I also used this framelit set, and what's it called? Sorry. This is called Boo to You framelits. This is actually on the clearance rack. It is still available as of right now when I'm filming this. So this has this Boo in it. It does not have the matching stamp set any longer, but the framelits are cute enough by themselves that I really liked it. So this is still available currently. As I said, beginning of September, so this is still available until supplies run out. But I think it's a really cute set, even just for the Boo. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a different one. And I already went ahead and cut out this piece of designer series paper. And you can use whatever paper you like. As you see, the other side has bats, so you could use that side, but you just have to make sure you cut it. Now you will notice that when I use this, it's very flimsy, so I'm going to back it to a piece of smoky slate just to give it a little bit more sturdiness, because this paper is very thin. So if you're using a designer series paper, I would highly suggest backing it onto a regular piece of cardstock. And what I did is I just trimmed it 1/4 of an inch bigger. Okay, so this is Pumpkin Pie, Smoky Slate, and then the Halloween Night Specialty Designer Series paper. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, so this one I made the spinner with the ghosts. And I put some Wink of Stella, and I stamped them in black on white. And then I went over them with a little Smoky Slate just to kind of give them that spirity kind of look. And then the other thing is, if you remember, we used to have black glimmer paper. This year we have pumpkin pie. So what I did, this is very simple, is I took some of the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. I will say one thing, do this ahead of time because otherwise you have black finger and get black on everything. And I just put a little bit of the re-inker from the archival black ink, and then I went around with my sponge dauber and I just, look, I'll show you right here. I just inked the edges of it. And like I said, you just have to make sure you give it time to dry, or you could use your heat gun, and you have black glimmer paper. So in case that's something that you're missing out on, which I certainly was, so I decided just to share that little tidbit with you guys. You can also do that actually for any color that you like. You can use your re-inker, and I just use, like I said, the sponge dauber just to make sure that it kind of got in, because if you apply it directly, it makes it super, super dark. And as I said, have something, because it was super messy, but once it dries, I thought it looks really cool. And then I just used the pumpkin pie glimmer paper with the Boo, and I popped that up on some dimensionals. The important thing when you do this is just to make sure you can either use dimensionals or you can use the strips, which these come 2 in a pack, and then you trim them. You just want to make sure that you lay it around your edges so you don't interfere with the turning of the card. So right now mine is up here and down here. There's nothing on the sides here because it would run into the penny that I have it on. And then I have some in the middle, and I put it in the middle, that way I could be sure that it would turn without, of course now it doesn't want to turn, it would turn without any impairment. So I also made sure that when I put my moon and my bat on, that before I pressed it down, I made sure it would turn. So there you go. You can see it's going all the way around. And then I just decorated the inside to make it a little fun. Okay, so what we're going to do instead is we're going to use this one here. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the Smoky Slate with my snail. And I'm going to just do this with snail. And again, since this is going to back up to something else, it's not going to really be a problem, but you do want to make sure that it sticks pretty well. So I'm going to just line this up exactly. It's kind of better if you can line it up with your hole that you've cut out. Or the other thing you could do is you could go ahead and glue it ahead of time and then just cut them out. And this is the missing piece from that. Okay? So then we're going to pop this up with the strips, just like I was telling you. So again, we're going to put some here at the top. And you want to just avoid this whole area. Okay? So these strips are really nice because you can cover a lot of space. But if you don't have the strips, you can absolutely just use regular dimensionals. It works perfectly fine. So make sure you give it a nice good press down. But regular dimensionals will work 100% fine as well. Okay, and we're going to trim this off here. And so when we get close to the edge here, I'm going to put another piece up top. Oops, I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, let's get one more strip. So down here, I'm not going to come very close to the end here, so I'm kind of starting at where I think the highest point is I need to go and trimming down to the shorter spot. I'm going to do that again over here. I'm going to start there, and I'm only going to go. Now, I know this isn't really quite as bad because it does have that little top piece where it's going to stop no matter what. And then I'm going to just give a nice strip in the middle just to hold the card up. Like that. And then just a little one here, kind of just for balance, so the card has a good amount of backing. Okay, so that's what we're going to do there. And this is really nice because it is trimmable, and you can use the edge pieces around as well. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put this down. I haven't really decided what I wanted to do with this one yet, because the sliding star framelits does have a moon stamp and a moon cutout, so we could do that and make that spin around. I did cut out another pair of ghosts. We could do that one as well. We could do something with the Happy Halloween. We could do the witch. That'd be pretty fun. We could do the witch. So we're going to just put this down on our cardstock. So again, as I said, everything is cut about 1/4 inch shorter. So the base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. The smoky slate is 4 by 5 1/4, and the designer series paper is 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so then what you want to do is you're going to get 2 pennies or 2 washers, your choice, and you're going to get a dimensional, and you're going to want to trim just the little corner pieces off because it makes it spin just a tiny bit better when it's round versus when it has those little points on the hexagon. Okay, so just slightly round it out. Okay, and then you're going to press this onto one of your pennies, peel off, and then press your pennies together. And you can really give them a good tight smush. That way it bonds, because it is going to pop back up. And you can also, if you want to, you can put 2-dimensional, so it gives it a little bit of extra space. And then you're going to just lift the lip of your dimension, or your card. Just, you're not going to break it. It feels like you are, but you're going to just slide that. Okay, so that's going to slide back and forth. You can give it kind of a couple go back and forth if you want to just make sure you smooth out the middle pieces there. Okay, so now we just have to decide what we're going to decorate our card with. So here we have our little ghosts. I think I'm just going to pop those up onto a dimensional and put them on the card. Okay, and if you put anything, remember, you do want to put it out of the way of wherever your spinner is, whatever it may be. So I'm going to just put these up here, kind of like they're going off of the card. And let's see what we can use. So we have a lot of things here from the Spooky Fun. We have the witch. That'd be pretty fun. We could cut her out. We could have the witch flying through the moon. I think that'd be pretty fun. Let's do that. So what I did is, with the moon, I'm going to keep my Happy Halloween on the side here. With the moon and with the witch, we'll make her a shadow so you can't see her face really. So what I did is I took a piece of Whisper White, and I used, this is what I did on this moon right here. I used crushed curry I did for my outline. So we're going to do this first. Pumpkin pie, and then So Saffron. And what I did is I used sponge daubers, And I kind of created a little bit of just a little circle of a moon inside. You can make it as light or as dark as you want. Okay. And then this is pumpkin pie. And then I just kept the other color to one side. So I didn't really bring it on both sides. And you can kind of draw it out a little bit. All right. And then I took the crushed curry and I stamped the moon. And you can certainly do this in any variation of colors that you would like. But these three tend to work pretty well with getting the color that I wanted. Okay. So there's your moon. And then I use the 1 3/8 circle punch. So make sure that's dry. Got a little bit of a smudgy there. Hang on one second. I just want to wipe this off just a tad bit. I'm not going to redo it because you're not going to really be that critical of it. So the 1 3/8 inch circle punch. Well, let me trim a little piece off. It does fit this perfectly, but first you have to be able to get your punch in there. Okay. So just like that. Okay. And then I also just went back and kind of sponged the edges of this. Either one is fine. I just didn't want to have any harsh edges. And the other thing I'm going to do while I'm here is I'm going to stamp my witch in the archival black. Okay, so let me grab block. Make sure she's nice and inked up. And you just have to decide where you want her to be flying through. So she can go kind of through the center if you like. Completely up to you. Pop her off. All right, there she is. And we're just gonna, so make sure she's very dry. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of glue dots on the back. You could certainly put her on a dimensional if you like. Up to you completely. And actually, you know what? I'm going to put the glue dots onto the penny since the penny is still. And since she's just a little bit wet. So I usually put 2 or 3 glue dots just because I'm always fearful something's going to fall off. I'm sure it probably won't, but... And then I'm going to just give her a press just with the back of my fingernail because I have a lot of glue or a lot of black on the front. So there you go. There's your little witch. And the other thing we're going to do before we're finished is, let's see, we will take the classic label punch and we're going to punch out a white. Let me find a thin strip. Oh, where's the piece I just had? Here it is. Never mind. We're going to punch out a Happy Halloween. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Happy Halloween in black. And then we're going to give a little background layer just to give a little bit of extra interest. So this is a card that's definitely a lot of impact, especially for little kids. Even though really there's not a lot of work in it. So you could definitely pump out a lot of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a piece of the pumpkin pie glimmer paper just to make it a little more exciting. Okay. And we're going to just pop this up. Now, one thing I will say, if you're going to do this, you want to do glue dots because it is a little bit difficult sometimes to get things to stick to the glimmer paper. So I'm going to put glue dots on the back of this. Or you could use the Tombow liquid glue. Either one, but this just gives a little more assurance that it's going to stay where I put it. And I did put 3, even though this isn't going to match up exactly. But we are going to put this. We'll put these up on dimensionals. Just give a little bit more of a fun factor. Okay. There you go. So you have your little witch. And you can always put, you know, something else fun on the inside. You could fill it in with, you could put a little bit of cobwebs, some leaky blood, some gauze. Any of those things would be really, really fun. And especially, like I said, for a little mind, a little bit of excitement. And you could also use your little boo on the inside if you wanted to as well. So thanks for taking time to watch. I hope I've given you guys a couple of good ideas for the spinner cards here. These supplies and more are all available in my online store. You can get anything currently out of the holiday catalog. It is now live to customers, so that that happened September 1st. And again, if you don't have a copy, please feel free to shoot me an email and I'll send you one for free. I just need to have your full name and your mailing address and I can send you a catalog. So if you have any questions or comments, you can reach me at rachthestamper@gmail.com. You can get all of these supplies and more 24/7 on my online store, rachthestamper.stampinup.net. And if you haven't already, follow me on YouTube, and you can also follow me on my blog, rachthestamper.wordpress.com. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.